Any English teacher in Thailand, be it Ajahn Adam, Loukgolf, all these teachers will say exactly the same thing.
Hi guys, it's Lakta. Welcome to Unfox English. And today is a very special episode because we have a very special guest to talk with us in English. She's Thai, but she's not living in Thailand. She now lives in England, and I'm going to make a video call to talk with her. So let's do it.
Hi Lakta,
Hello.
how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are things in Thailand?
In my hometown now, I'm in Roi, and
Right.
it's like switching between hot and cold.
Really?
It's like it's going to be cold, but it's not.
Typical Thai weather.
And how's the weather in the UK now?
It's cold at the moment. We've gone into autumn, or in America it's called fall. In the UK we call it autumn. We've not long gone into autumn, and the temperatures are around 12 degrees. It gets down to about 2 degrees at night. Yeah, so
Wow.
it's pretty cold.
Is it different from winter?
Autumn is warmer than the winter, obviously. It's when the leaves fall off the trees and the temperatures are getting colder and it gets darker sooner. You should come to England one day. Have you ever been to England?
No.
Ah, right. Then you must come, Lecter.
So please tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Dew Hope, or a lot of my students call me Kru Dew. I'm a Thai national, but I've been living in the UK since the year 2000. So I have been in the UK in total about almost 20 years now.
Oh,
19 years.
19 years.
Yes. A lot of people know me from Loukgolf's English room. I used to do the subtitles for the show. I don't anymore.
Uh-huh.
Someone else is doing that job now, a very good job. Yes, I used to work on that show for 3.5 years.
Ah.
I enjoyed it very much, and that was my proper introduction to the world of learning and teaching English in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, after that I wanted to go fully into teaching English. So after I finished working on Loukgolf's English room, I set up an English teaching group.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment I'm a full-time freelance English teacher, and I only teach Thai students. Yes.
Wow, that's great. And I have to tell you that I'm so glad that you come to talk with us in Unfox English today.
It's my pleasure, Lakta. I have been following you for a while.
Uh-huh.
I spotted you on YouTube. As an English teacher, I keep myself up to date on what's going on in the English learning industry in Thailand. Well, I know of a lot of English teachers in Thailand, and then you're one of the people that came up in my search. And when I saw your videos, I thought, this boy is very interesting. There's something about him. I can teach you an idiom. There's something about him. It means there's something interesting about that person. And it's absolutely my pleasure to be here today talking to you.
I want to ask you for some advice for English learners, especially Thai English learners.
Yep.
With one question. What are the most important things about learning English?
Right. That's a very good question. And I would say that's $1 million question.
$1 million question.
$1 million question, yes, because it's a question, it's an important question, and it's a question that everybody asks.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right to talk about the most important things in English, because there isn't just the one important thing. There are many important things when it comes to learning English.
Uh-huh.
First of all, I would say you need to know why you're learning English. Do you agree with me?
Yeah. That's what I told people who subscribe me.
It's very important because unless you know why you're doing something, you're not going to be clear as to what you're going to do next. If you want to be a doctor, you know what you should study. So you go and learn science at school, you learn maths and things that will take you towards being a doctor.
Right.
A purpose of learning English can come in many forms, right? For some people, they would like to learn English to go and live abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would like to be able to watch movies in English. Some people naturally just simply have an interest in English and they would like to master it. And that is a very good motivation as well. That's the word I wanted to talk about, is motivation. In order to be able to do something successfully, in order to be successful at something, you have to be motivated to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Without the motivation, you might as well give up. And it's true for a lot of people. Well, it's true for everyone. So first of all, you need to find your reason as to why you're learning English. And any reason is a good reason. You don't have to want to go study abroad. You can just live in Thailand. You might have a lot of foreign friends. You simply just want to be able to read books in English. That is good enough.
So we have to find our reason why we have to learn
that's
English.
Right. Yeah, that's right. And if you don't have a reason, maybe you need to think, do I need to learn English? Or is there something else I could learn to do better? Because unless you have a good motivation, you might give up halfway through. Because learning anything, any language in the world, you're going to find some difficulties. You get to a point where you find it very, very difficult. And if without the motivation, you're going to give up. And then you will think to yourself, you probably think, oh, I've just wasted 3 months learning English and I didn't do, I wasn't good at it, so I'm going to give up because I don't know why I'm learning. And
this is the thing that I talk in one of my videos last month. I talk about this. Like you have to answer a very important question about learning English.
You have to follow your heart. You have to have an answer for your own heart. But if you're doing it because there's a pressure by society for you to learn English, if it's not real, if it doesn't come from your heart, if you don't see a real benefit of knowing English, again, you might give up easily. So I would recommend that you answer that question first. Do I really, really love English? I would recommend that you use the word love. If you like English, it's good enough. But if you love English, you're going to be passionate about every activity involved in learning English.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next thing would be your dedication.
Dedication.
Yes, the motivation will lead towards dedication.
Could you explain dedication a little bit?
Dedication is a feeling of wanting to keep practicing. If you're dedicated to it, you will want to practice all the time. You will want to switch as many aspects of your life as possible from Thai to English. So if you're dedicated, you think, well, I want everything around me to be in English. So for example, you would use Facebook in English, you would use your Line, all your applications. If there's an option to switch from Thai to English, you will switch it to English because you're dedicated.
I see.
Yes. So yes, but that is directly linked to your motivation. Motivation will lead to dedication, and dedication will bring constant practice, and that in turn will take you to success. You will feel like your English has improved when you've been practicing for a while. Yes, so I think that's the next important thing, is the sense of you gauge yourself, you ask yourself, am I dedicated? How many hours a week am I going to dedicate to learning English?
Yeah. I see that.
And I think you could probably say those are two of the most important things. Once you've got those two things, everything else will follow. And I think you, of all people, would know that. You are the testament of how true that is, because you are motivated, aren't you? Lecter yourself. And then you are quite dedicated, because you've told us in some of your videos that you've watched Twilight so many times, and that is dedication. And that's why a lot of people think that your English is really good, and I think your English is very good. For somebody who hasn't been outside of Thailand, your English is excellent. So this is something that we are going to promote to the Thai learners together.
I want Thai English learners to be like, to have at least two things that you just said. And those are what I already talked in my video before.
Yes, I know. And it's also, if you go and follow any English teacher in Thailand, be it Adam, Loukgolf, all these teachers, will say exactly the same thing. Yeah? So it's not something that unusual. I'm not the first person to come up with this theory. Every Thai teacher that I have listened to, they all say the same thing. You have to know why you're learning English. And also you have to dedicate yourself to it. You have to set aside a certain number of hours in a week. You know, if you want to be good, if you want to be really, really good, maybe you do it every night. But if you're too busy or you are learning something else at the same time, or you have a busy schedule, you have a family, you have children, or you're a student, you need to study, you can do it twice a week. But if you're dedicated, you should set aside, you know, certain times for learning English. Yeah, and only then will you be successful and you will see a difference.
I think these two things have to come from ourselves. Like, you know, many people like want to know how are they going to be good at English, and they like keep asking people, what do I have to do? What do I have to practice? What do I have to learn? But maybe we should ask ourselves why we want to learn English.
That knowing why you want to learn English will also act as a guide as to what you should do, what you concentrate on. So if you want to be able to understand all the films that are in English, you would concentrate on your listening skill, right? If your reason for learning English is to be able to have foreign friends, you would concentrate on your speaking skill. But a lot of people will say, I just want to be able to communicate in English. I want to be able to do everything in English. I want to be able to watch a movie in English. I want to be able to read English. And that is great as well. So your job is a little bit harder, because it means that you're going to have to slowly develop a skill in every aspect. Yeah, so you have to become a good all-rounder. You have to be good at reading. You have to be good at listening. You have to be good at speaking as well. Your task becomes a little bit more challenging, but it's not impossible. You know why it's not impossible? Because your motivation, your reason, your dedication will keep you learning. I would dare to say there's nobody in history who doesn't succeed because they've been dedicated. I think history will show you that if a person is dedicated, if you're devoted to doing something, you eventually will succeed to a degree. So it's impossible. It's impossible to fail, basically, if you try.
It's just like you stop doing it.
Yes. The main reason you haven't succeeded is because you've stopped. Yes, you're right. If you stopped halfway through, you're not going to see that the finish line is within sight. You know, the finish line might be around the corner, but if you stop running, you're not going to see it. Right. I know that it's easier said than done. Have you heard that expression before? Easier said than done.
No.
It's when something is easier to say than it is to do. You know, I can say to you, oh, surround yourself with English, but you might say, well, how do I do that? I live in Thailand, and that is obviously one of the difficulties of learning English in Thailand, because the environment doesn't really allow you to, you know, improve that much. But what you can do is read books in English. Books in English are everywhere now. Instead of watching a Thai drama, you pick an English drama to watch, an American series or a British series, anything, Australian, anything that's in English.
And it's very easy to find that.
It's very easy these days. It's very, very easy. Like I said before, it's never been easier.
I love this expression.
It's never been easier than now. So what it means is a long time ago it wasn't so easy, but now it's very easy. So you say it's never been easier. So you take advantage of that. You know, you have to say, is there enough English in my life? Am I reading enough books in English? Am I watching enough films in English? There are so many things you can do. Immerse yourself in English. That's another useful word, to immerse yourself. Because immersion will allow you to improve, to use that skill all the time. They're simple ideas. I think they're ideas that people already know. You know, if you want to become a good driver, you just have to drive a lot. It's just like sport. If you want to be,
like anything that we do in our daily life. Like if you want to be
proficient,
like in something we have to do it a lot.
Yeah,
Like-
you have to do a lot of it. You know, and I'm not saying that I never practiced. I would not ever say, oh, my English is good. It came naturally to me. I didn't have to practice a lot. That's not true. I practiced a lot.
A lot.
I know you would say I practiced ever since I could speak.
Yeah, what you said was just like everything I said before in my videos.
Exactly. So we can say great minds think alike. And we're not the only two people in the world that have said that. You know, other teachers say the same. Everyone.
Yeah.
You know, I have come across a lot of Thai people who are very good at English. I'm referring back now to my experience working on Loukgolf's English room. Yeah, because I had to subtitle, I had to watch every episode. And in many episodes, there were Thai celebrities or singers or actors who are very good at English. And they would say exactly the same. It was because they practiced and practiced.
Yeah, practicing
and
is the key.
Yeah. There wasn't a single one that said, I'm good, but I didn't have to practice at all. I just became good at English. Nobody said that.
Right.
Nobody said, oh, somebody taught me the shortcuts. Somebody showed me the techniques on how to be good at English, and I used those techniques, and now I'm good at English. Not a single person said that. Every single one said it was because they practiced.
Yeah, and everything we talk today is about ourselves.
Yes, you're right. It's about ourselves. It's about what we've done.
It's about ourselves.
Yeah, so those are the things. Those are the things that I think are the most important when learning English.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything else becomes a detail. Yeah, everything else you can ask people. You can ask for advice, but I think you have to start with those things that we've mentioned that we've been talking about.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah. So you know, it's. I really enjoyed the chat, and I think, Lacta, I have an idea.
Yeah,
Maybe,
maybe.
because we think so much alike, maybe we should do something together. We could get together and do something for the Thai learners. What do you think?
Yeah, that was I was gonna ask you.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Really?
that's what
Wow.
I'm thinking about.
Great minds think alike. Yeah, because you love English, and I love English. I'm an English teacher, and you're a very good student. You're a good learner, and maybe we should get together and do something.
Yeah, we should do something.
To help people, to encourage other people to be as good as us or even better.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want people to be as good as me. You know, I want people to be better than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want.
Yeah,
and
that's
I feel.
the teachers
I think.
do.
Yeah, I think you feel the same. You're good, but you're thinking, what if I can help other people be even better than me? Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yeah, that's what-
Maybe we should get together and have some ideas and come up with some ideas as to what we can do.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Can you say
you'd like
brilliant?
that. Yeah, brilliant. That's a good word. That's a brilliant word. Yeah, brilliant. What a great idea. What a
Yeah.
wonderful idea. What a capital idea.
So we will talk like later about this. Yeah.
Yes, in English we
Yeah.
say watch this space. Have you heard that
Watch
expression?
this space.
Watch this space. Watch this space. It means to keep following something. To watch this space.
Like to be
Yes.
continued.
To be continued. To be continued.
To be continued.
โปรดติดตามตอนต่อไป คอย
Ah.
ดูแล้วกันนะว่าจะเกิดอะไรขึ้น
Watch this space.
Watch this space, guys.
Watch
Yes.
this space. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kudu.
No, it's
It's
a pleasure.
been
It's a pleasure.
a pleasure to talk with you today.
Yeah.
This was
It's
brilliant.
fine. I really enjoyed our chat, and I'm really looking forward to getting together with you and doing something good.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
I think what you
Thank-
said, what you told us today was very, very useful for Thai English
Inspiring.
learners. Yeah, it's
The word that people like to use these days is how inspiring. Yeah, it's you've been very inspiring. Yeah, so this is what we do. We inspire each other. This is what life is all about. I think I was inspired by you. Yeah, and if there are more students like you, I would love that. I would love the ability to teach students like you.
yeah.
Yes.
So now I'm
yes.
your student.
You are my student, and we're both students, and we're both teachers. So we know things that we can teach to other people. Yet we also have a lot to learn. Yeah, we can learn about our learners. We can learn what they want. We can learn on, how to encourage them to be better in English, and that is a learning process. So everybody's teaching, everybody's learning at the same time. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay, everyone, this is Kudu, and yeah, like you said, watch this space. We are going to
Watch
do
this
something
space.
together to make your English even better. And I don't have nothing to say. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.